Man, let's get into this thing, man. It's been a minute. What you got?
Broncos are officially releasing Russell Wilson.
It's happened. It's official. Who dropped the report?
Not yet.
Who gives the report? Who got us on it?
This is straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh.
Denver Broncos.
Oh. Say less. What'd they say?
Pun intended. We've notified quarterback Russell Wilson that he will be released after the league year begins March 13th.
Well, after the league year begins, it would be my birthday, which is the 14th of March. Deke, this is fire. That's next Thursday, bro. Okay. All right. You hit that like button one time for us getting released, man. Don't forget to subscribe either. Now, he's definitely a guy that we was talking about last time we was in here, Deke. But it's been a lot of convo surrounding quarterbacks since then.
Well, yeah. I want to hear if you have any combine reports because there have been mixed rumors being thrown out there about what's going on with the Steelers brass and their interest of outside quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You got Schefter saying they are interested in Fields. They are interested in Russell Wilson. I don't even know if he threw Kirk Cousins in the mix. But then you got something from The Athletic that just popped up today saying there pretty much is no interest from the Steelers in any of those quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And then Schefter said on the McAfee show, I think it was a few hours after the Athletic article dropped, that Steelers are just taking their time. There still is interest, but they're not going crazy or anything right now. What do you know? Did you talk to Russ's camp?
So what I will communicate is listen. This is what I would communicate. Do I feel like there's interest in all of them dudes you named? I do. Now, to what extent, that is the big question, and unfortunately, we're not going to know that. I don't feel like.
Nor should we.
Right? Yeah, we're not going to know that info. But to act like that interest isn't there, I personally feel like that's inaccurate. I do feel like there is a lot of buzz surrounding those specific names, and part of the hesitancy was waiting to see what was going to happen from the Bears' standpoint. Because remember, the Bears, their general manager didn't speak until I think the second day at the combine. So it was a lot of just that, because everybody was like, all right, they still gonna go Justin Fields. Then once he talked, and then when he kind of got off that mic and everybody in that building was like, oh, y'all moving on from Justin Fields. That's when you started to see all the reports about, Caleb going to be the guy. And then Caleb came out and said what he said. Yeah, it's a lot of people that's going to be interested or that are interested in Justin Fields. Now, in terms of the number, I heard that it ain't no more than no second, though, bro. Like, it ain't going to be a first rounder.
No, I don't think
it will be. Yeah, they said there's no first
crazy.
rounders. Yeah, it's like second round best case. And the thing that,
I think the market's only really the Steelers, Raiders, and Falcons.
Yeah.
And that's if all three of those teams are interested.
Correct.
Because, each one has a case for not being interested.
This is also true. Yep, this is also true. So the big thing, though, is the number. Now, I know at one point, my man over in Chicago's like, it's like we don't have to move on from him, but at the same time, we don't want to have it where he doesn't know anything either. It's like, we want to let him know, like, that's what it is. Because there was that floated around, too, of, well, you don't have to move on from Justin. You can still keep him on that roster. I don't see how that works, though, personally, bro. Yeah.
Absolutely have to trade him.
Nah. But in terms of the confidence that they do still have in Kenny, that is also legitimate. Now, people have obviously had very mixed emotions about that. That is very accurate, though. They still do feel
that's what I like to hear.
Like they feel good about him, So it's like, man, we're gonna find out if this is great faith or if it's, arrogance and stubbornness. We'll find out, as the season goes and stuff like that, if it comes to that. But they do still rock with Kitty heavily, man. So that's why I'm like, I think both things, from me personally, just from what I saw, what I was hearing, I'm not about to go too far in depth because I ain't get me in like that. But I just feel like both of those things are accurate right now.
I think that's why Omar Khan was an absolute savage at the press
conference. Oh, he killed it, bro.
He was a master.
He killed it, bro.
Just a masterpiece.
Yeah, he killed it.
Because he's saying he still likes the quarterback on the roster, the only quarterback on the roster, the guy we drafted in the first round. Says we want Mason back. Made it clear we want Mason back. Like, that would be the competition, him and Kenny.
Yeah.
But also said we're exploring all the avenues. So, I think he put a little pressure on Mason there. Like, listen, offers on the table. If you don't want to come back, though, We're not going to be sitting here with
because this is the
our hands tied
thing.
behind our back here. We got to look at a Russell Wilson or Fields.
Well, no, because
if they're available,
this is the issue. It's not necessarily about if the team is willing to have Mason back. I think what's going on is we briefly talked about it, but we were a little bit more nice about it. The reality is, in terms of like the brass people and the analyst people, they are criticizing them 4 games, and they're looking at it and saying, back up a Ravens team with nobody out there, and they're looking at some of that stuff.
His market ain't his fault.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how we felt immediately after the season ended, or while it was happening.
Yeah. They're going back and they looking at them details in the context of it, and
that helps the Steelers.
It helps the Steelers to an extent if Mason is still willing to be open to that. Now, if he's pissed off about it and he's like, yo, I still feel like I'm going to go get more, now you play the hardball game. Hardball means, okay, for the Steelers, you going to play your hardball. He go out there and test the market. You going to sign somebody. Does that mean that it's a better option than Mason? Not necessarily, no. From a price standpoint, we could feel like, yo, man, you left. All right, cool, we got our guy. But does that mean he's going to play better than what Mason did? I think those are all the things that are kind of at play. But, yeah, they definitely – his market ain't going to be as crazy as I think. Yeah.
Here's my guess from afar.
Mm-hmm.
You can give me your thoughts on it. I do think they believe in Kenny. I think they're completely fine with him being QB1 going into 2024. I think for adding to the room right now, adding to Kenny – their first priority is Mason. If that doesn't happen, then, yeah, they'll be looking at the Fields trade. The Wilson one's interesting because if you bring in Wilson, he's the starter. I'm sorry. There's no competition. That's like the curveball. That's the monkey wrench in all this.
And because of the money now that we know he's officially going to be released.
Yeah.
So now it's literally open season. If he is cool with whatever that number is, then you got him. That's very different than, the Justin Fields. Because with Justin Fields, a second rounder in terms of the draft compensation, that's the minimum, and you're picking up the option. Talk to multiple people trying to figure out, would you make that trade and not pick up that option? Everybody's like, absolutely not. If you're going to trade for him and you're going to give up around a second round pick, you're
really?
Picking up the option. Yeah, a lot of people are like, yo, you're going to pick up that option.
Now
bro.
I really don't want to do that trade.
Yeah, because it was like, if you're going to give up the second round pick for him, but the thing is, they're looking over the 2 years and they're saying it's a 25 or 20, I think it's like $28 million over the 2-year span. They're like, man, if he is what you think he is, then you're getting a steal. You're not making this move, though, unless you feel the same way you feel like Kenny, he can do that. You would have to feel Justin Fields could do that to make the move, is kind of how they're communicating. Because once you do that for his agent and for him, why is he going to okay you to trade me here when you don't give me any type of security, any type of what makes you love me? I'm just a rental. I don't want to go here to just be a rental, bro. And that part is why they're feeling like, yo, you're going to have to pick up that option in order for that trade to all the way get signed through.
What's interesting about that, though, is how much say does Fields really have?
Well, put it like this. I'm sure you can send him over there, but do you want to deal with this, the guy we just traded with a second round pick? We're not getting him a new contract, and he's pissed off.
But it's like, if you don't want to play for whatever team's trading for you, I don't think you have this great leg to stand on based off your play these first 3 years.
Right,
like, you might be out of the league pretty shortly.
I think right now,
if you're going to be like if you're going to be like a problematic person, like in the locker room or within an organization.
But is he problematic if he already voiced ahead of time he doesn't want to go there, and you decide to play hardball and say, well, hey, it's either take it or leave it, and he decides to leave it and say, I could sit for a year and then just come right back,
well,
because that's all you have.
Back with the Bears, maybe they cut you. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that plays out then.
Because think about it. To an extent, we thought with L. Bell, right, you would never see a person sit, and we've seen it. Cam Chancellor. Thought we would never see a person sit. He said. Marshawn, he said. You know what I mean? It's like we can go around, and it's like it has been instances. Now, I do agree in terms of his leverage. He doesn't have a ton of leverage. The difference between
those players versus Fields is pretty dramatic.
True. But at the same time, why does he have a market for trade? Where we're talking about, second round picks. It can't be that bad. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying, though, for him to get a say on exactly what happens with his new team, I'm not going there unless you pick up my 5th-year option. Maybe that's the only team that's able to get him, though.
And all of that can be true. But if you know he is going to be pissed off about not having any type of job security, do you feel like that's the best introduction to him, to your organization, to you, to him? That's the other
I get
part
why
of
a team wouldn't want to take the 5th-year option,
Yeah,
though.
I'm with you.
Like, sight unseen. You saw what happened with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but we all would agree that Fields is further along in terms of what we think he can do versus Darnold.
I'd give him a little, yeah, for sure. I would.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing surrounding that convo right now, just within, how they talking out there in Indy, man. Because it's like, for you to give up what you're going to give up, he is still a quarterback that has been a starter. We ain't going to call him franchise, but he's been a starter his whole time. And that's the part where I can see it getting a little messy to an extent. It's like, I get why you wouldn't want to, but at the same time, if I'm going to be so horrible about not picking up his option, why am I even trading for him if I don't think he's going to develop anyways? Because if you're making the trade, from my assumption, I'm making this move because I think he can come in here and develop. I think he's going to be better than what we currently have. And if I'm splitting 2 years for 28, that means 14-14 realistically. If I'm getting what I think I'm going to get, that's a steal in the first 2 years. Then I'm going to have to pay you anyways after that.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. So the 3 teams that have been linked to him the most, like, they got an out. There's definitely a case for them to say, we really don't need Fields. Or I don't think he is a guaranteed upgrade over whatever other option that we can get, because the Raiders can draft the guy early. I think they got like the 12th or 13th pick, same with the Falcons. So they could get like a Penix, a McCarthy, or a Bo Nix on a rookie deal. So it's like, is Fields a guaranteed upgrade over those guys? Maybe year one, but like, if you actually believe in those dudes,
though,
I mean, the rookie might be better not only year one, but then you're thinking they're going to be the guy for the long term. And then for the Steelers, like you said, we believe in Pickett. And then if you can re-sign Mason, maybe you're just thinking, yeah, you know what, I'm good on Fields. I'll roll with these 2 guys. No reason to trade a second-round pick to bring him in here and do the 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So I wonder how the trade market's going to be, what the exact trade compensation will be if the 5th-year option's in play. There's a lot going there.
Yeah, because worst case, if you're Justin Fields, you just got to find out how to just get through this season wherever you're at, and then you hit the market, and then it doesn't matter. Now you get to go where you want to go for whatever number you think is appropriate for yourself, and anybody that might have took a different approach, you'll get a chance to show if they made the right decision or not. So that's why I'm like, if you're Justin Fields, you good too. Like, it's not the end all be all this year.